Hello, this is Mr. Douglas at Manaside Academy, and this is an introduction for parents to supporting your child with remote learning through Microsoft Teams. Now, if you're well familiar with using Microsoft Teams, this probably isn't a video for you, but if you're just starting and you're not really sure how to support your child and what they should be doing, then hopefully I'm going to take you through a few things that will help you out this evening. There are also some steps or more detailed instructions available through separate videos, which you can also find on our website or on the Manaside Academy YouTube page or my YouTube page. So first of all, I'm going to show you the Teams interface so you understand what it is you're going to be looking at. Okay, so once you've logged in on teams.office.com or teams.microsoft.com or office.com, whichever one you want, just click the links from our important website. You'll access this page. Now, your child's username and password have been sent out to them in early January. If you're still not sure of that username and password, make sure you check your junk email. Or if you still can't find it, then call the office and ask to be have it resent or explained on the phone. Now, most children only have access to the one team that they're in that year group. However, if you've got more than one child at school, then they may have access to each other's work to try and reduce the hassle for you. Now I'm going to click on the one team that's important for me, which is my year group team. Now it looks a little bit different possibly to you because this is the app version of it, and actually the website looks very similar. The only difference here is really that I've changed the background colors. Now on the left side you'll see chat channels, and each of these channels also has some extra things to it, but the main channel is the general channel. That's the one you come into by default when you open Teams. The general channel is the most important one. I'll explain why in a couple of seconds. But there are a few other channels in year 5. We create an English classroom, maths classroom, wider curriculum, which is pretty much everything else. And then we've got a social chat room there to try and make sure children are keeping their general chit chat away from the rooms where they can ask questions, so that and we as teachers and our children can spot learning questions and aren't distracted by other things. Now, what's happening in the main channel in posts is that there are some notifications from your teachers. The teachers are the only people that can start conversations. Children can reply to them though. Now, if they want to ask a particular question about an assignment, it's worthwhile replying to that assignment. Now, the assignments, I've just gone a little bit ahead there. Assignments are the what Microsoft calls our lessons. So lessons have an assignment for each of them normally, but you can find this out by checking the timetable. Now, at the moment, the way we're sharing timetables is by saving them in the files for our team. Now, this is where it's really important we go to the general channel, because in the other channels, you're not going to see the right file section, because there's a file section for each one. So I'm going to go into the file section now, and in the file section, you'll see that there is a class materials folder. That's the same for all of the teams. The class materials folder is something that comes with Teams. We can't change that. So that's always going to be there. And children aren't able to change anything in the class materials folder. So it's a really good place for teachers to put things for children to look at but not change. And one of those things in the class materials is the weekly timetable. So there are weekly timetables here so that you know what your child should be doing each day, so that they're covering all their lessons and not missing out on anything or falling behind. In the same folder, you may also find there's a backlog of all the videos for all the previous lessons. Now, I'm going to go in and just show you the timetable for this week for my year group. So click on that, and it will give me a preview in Microsoft Word Online. Now, Word Online isn't quite as good as proper Word application. And one of the things it doesn't do very well is it gets a bit confused by words that are arranged anything other than left to right. So you can see some of them look a bit weird here on the thin columns. But you can get the gist of what's happening. So we've got here, first thing in the morning, we're starting with spellings. And it tells you there's a spelling assignment. So look out for that assignment in the next part of the video. I'm going to talk about assignments. Now the maths assignment is each day it's shown as going to be a video. Then there's a time left for play, and that's to try and match home and school. So there's always a little bit of a break for children to take a brain break. And then we've got another free section at home, which is free. At the moment, that's free, but hopefully very soon we'll be having assemblies in one of these two sections, depending on which year group your child is in. And then after assembly comes whole class reading. Now, whole class reading for those at home at the moment is through Purple Mash To-Dos, but it will update on the timetable if that changes. It might be that we can move to be able to do that live at some stage. Then we've got English, and again, it's telling us as an assignment. Now, it's going to be a little bit different on every year group because the timetables change throughout the term to try and fit all the different subjects in. But it's telling you that there will be an assignment for that. Then we've got some play at lunchtime, and there's a bit of TT Rockstars time. So on ttrockstars.com or the Times Table Rockstars app, your child has a little bit of timetable time to spend practicing the timetables, because timetables are so important to being able to do maths. There's so many different things going on in maths. If they can remember the timetables, it makes it a little bit easier on their brains. And then we've got a little bit of maths fluency time. So in year 5, we set that as an assignment each day. So that's written there. There's an assignment for fluency. And then there's afternoon lessons. Again, it tells you if there's going to be an assignment for those. With PE, you'll normally see there's a link, and the same with well-being. I can just scroll down a little bit. You can see that for well-being and for music and for our other PE lesson in the week. So there's links to go and view to access for the moment for those. And you'll see also on Spanish there may be assignment on video, or it may be that it's set with Duolingo. I think that's for most year groups using Duolingo at the moment. And then to finish off the day, we've got some own reading book time. And obviously this is going to be different with each year group has its own timetable, but hopefully that gives you a flavour of what it should look like. Now, if you are finding this difficult to use and you're using a mobile or a tablet, you're able to download the apps for free. So Microsoft, you can download Word, you can download PowerPoint. Both of those have free apps available for mobile devices. If you want to download it for your PC, you can also do that from office.com. And there's a video where I've explained how to do that separately. But if you've downloaded them, you'll be able to use this option at the top here to open it in desktop app, and you'll be able to see the timetable a little bit better. Now, as I mentioned, you won't be able to change the timetable because this is in the class materials folder, which children can't edit, but they can view. So that's the timetable. That's where we find out what we need to do for the week, what we need to do for the day. Okay, so to come back out of the timetable, at the top right, we've just got the close button here. So we're just going to press close and go back out to the file section. Now, in the files section, you'll notice that we've got a few extra tabs across the top here, one of which is assignments. Now, if you can't see all these tabs, maybe there's a little drop down that says you can view them otherwise. So we're going to click on assignments now, and I'm going to find out what lessons we've got for the day. So once you go into this view, you'll be able to see a list of all the different assignments your child currently has open. Now, my view is a little bit different because I can see all of the assignments, whether they're open or closed. And we obviously set assignments before the children can see them, and their timetable to arrive on their computer. And for most year groups, the first set of assignments will arrive at 7 in the morning. That's not saying you need to start them, but it's in case some of you at home are early risers. So what we look at is the lessons timetable for the day. So for today, which is Wednesday, I can see there are 3 lessons here, and I can see a number of children have already turned in their work. You're not going to see that, but you can click on the assignment to have a look at what they need to do for the day. So let's have a look at maths for today. Okay, so clicking on maths for the day brings you into this screen, which gives you some instructions on what to do. So there's fairly simple instructions. Please watch the link video. So for most of our lessons at the moment, there is a video recorded by one of your child's year group teachers, and there'll be a link to be able to watch that. So we can click on that link to watch the video. Before I do that, I'm just going to show you some other things available here. So it's also mentioned, reminding people that the video is just in the class materials folder as well. And there's some steps to success to try and help them with the problems that they're solving in their book, while they have the video paused. So obviously Power Maths books have been sent home to all year groups up to year 5. And so those are the books to use. Now, we don't expect children to go straight into the books. That's not how it works in class, and it's not how we're hoping you'll use them at home. So although it tells you which pages to use, we do hope that you'll watch the video first. We'll get your child to watch the video first so they can learn a little bit about how to tackle those questions. And it's not an instant process, because actually children don't best learn just by being told get on with one task. They've got to try and process and learn and try and get things wrong, and then the last part of a maths lesson, they have a go in their books. So don't feel the need to try and just get them to go straight into the book, and they throw themselves into it, and then ask you when they get stuck. Use those videos. We are recording those to try and help you and the children, and give them some opportunity to re-watch them, or slow them down if they need to, if they get stuck, or jump ahead a little bit if there was something that they're not sure how to do, without watching the answers straight away. Okay, so at the end here it tells you what to do. So it's telling children they also need to mark their work and use the last part of the video to do that. Obviously, in case people aren't able to watch the video, we've also got PowerPoint attached here as a sort of a backup. Now, the final part of this assignment is an area called student work. Now, I don't have the option here because I'm not a student, but for pupils, your child, they will be able to press add work here. There'll be a paperclip symbol, and click the paperclip, and they'll be able to add the work. If you're not sure how to do that, there's a separate video. You can see that it's been linked here, but there's a separate video available on our how-to guides part of the website. So once your child's added their work, they'll then have the option at the top right, which I don't have, but to hand in the work, and then they will receive feedback from their teacher within a few days, maybe up to a week, because sometimes we allow extra time for parents and children to do things a little bit behind our schedule. So we'll then mark the work, and the children will then be able to go back in the assignment and see how they did. Now, I've glossed over a little bit, but you can see here as well, there's a due today and a closes. Now I'll explain what those mean. So the due date, and teachers are setting them in slightly different ways across the school, but the due date is when the work should be done by on that day. Now that doesn't mean you have to, and we're not going to hold you to account if you haven't done that piece of work on that day. Therefore, for that reason, there's usually a longer close date. The close date is when the assignment will no longer be able to be edited. So for your child to hand in the work, they have to hand it in before the close date if they want to hand it in, but they'll still be able to go back and view closed assignments, so it doesn't totally stop them from doing things if the work doesn't have to be done in an attached file. Now this is a maths lesson. Maths lessons you'll do in Power Maths books generally, so I'm going to go and show you some different types of lessons. Okay, so this is a different type of lesson here where we've got children working in English, and similar to the lesson I just showed you with maths, there is a video available. There's some extra links here to other videos, which is just due to the fact that when we're showing you a video, it's hard to try and type out a link if there's another video you need to go and watch from that one. So that's why there's extra links showing other videos below. Now, at the bottom here, we've got some extra things available. So a section called reference materials is a section of files that your child can have a look at that might be a PowerPoint that backs up the video if the video doesn't work for some reason. There's also a model document sometimes, or in this case it's a fact file. So there's some facts about King Alfred to help them to be able to write the English piece for this day. Now at the bottom here you've got a section called student work, as I mentioned before, but there's already a file attached to it. So you don't have to attach some work to this one, you just need to click in the file and you can add to it. Now, if for some reason you're not able to add to it because maybe you're sharing devices at home, you're not going to have enough time for one child to type out their work, you can absolutely do that on paper. There might be some help in that document though for them. If you've got a printer, you can maybe print it out, or they can copy the first few lines that help them, such as their date and their WALT, their We're Learning To. So once they've got into that document, they've done the work. If they've edited it, it will automatically save. If they've done it on a piece of paper, then just as with maths, take a photo and they can attach that work with the clip symbol that's available in the student view. Once this work's finished, they'll be able to hand it in. Now, another thing I've not mentioned yet, we've mentioned Immersive Reader separately on our website. On the top right here, to help children who aren't so good with reading, they can have it read to them. So it has the Immersive Reader button at the top right to explain, to read aloud the words within the explanation here. So you've got a video for the lesson, you've got Immersive Reader to read what's in this section, you've got materials that are already done, they're not going to edit, and you've got, in this case, one that they can edit to complete their work in. As I said, there's no harm if they want to upload a photo instead. In fact, it may be better for some children to be working on paper than by typing their answers. Okay, so that's the basics of using Microsoft Teams to help your child with their learning, their assignments, their files, their chat rooms. I hope that's going to help you to get them started. Do come back and rewatch this video if you're not sure, or even get your child to watch this video with you if they're struggling. Best of luck.